My name is Zwikker, Chief Commercial Officer at Aimflow. Aimflow is located in the vibrant city centre of Amsterdam and in Eindhoven at the Brainport Industries Campus, known for its unique high-tech ecosystem and a hotspot for Dutch chip technology and robotics. Aimflow works on automation solutions, Industry 4.0 solutions, for the 3D printing industry, like computer vision solutions and robotization, enabling simple tasks within 3D printing factories. More about this later on. Let me start with a video of one of our clients and a leading service provider, Materialise. CTO Bart van der Schuren outlines the need for post-process automation in additive manufacturing to enable companies and AM production facilities in general to scale their business.
As companies scale their AM operations, they increasingly rely on automation. But the potential to scale is limited by the post-processing, which today is still mostly a manual process. Scaling this manual process by simply adding people increases costs, variability, and doesn't increase reliability. If you want to scale production, the only way forward is to automate post-processing. This is especially the case in mass customization, but that's easier said than done. If, for example, you're working in eyewear, different customers may want different colors for their personalized eyewear, which complicates the process even more. Also, even if you talk about mass customization, the total output is still relatively small. We believe that the time for automating post-processing is now, and at Materialise, we've been heavily investing in these processes. An example of our recent commitment to automation is that we robotized our entire cleaning line in our medical production to ensure the highest possible quality standards. Fortunately, Industry 4.0, with increased automation capabilities in robotics, is creating new ways to automate the post-processing steps. This will require time, effort and new investments, which will only pay off if AM mass manufacturing starts to scale. Which it will. And that's why investing in automated post-processing is vital.
What Bart van der Schuren highlights is one of the next shifts necessary for additive manufacturing to deliver on some of its most principal promises. A smaller ecological footprint, local production, full freedom of design, and competitive cost price. So let's put Aimflow in perspective. As more applications are being found for additive manufacturing, print volumes are growing rapidly, and demand from end users is also starting to increase for more granular improvements in efficiency, productivity, material availability, quality increase and measuring and monitoring, and above all, cost and speed. And we need to appreciate that the benchmark market is that of traditional manufacturing technologies, which have matured out. They are completely certified and brought to the highest cost efficiencies possible. And we believe this is also the route for the additive manufacturing industry, and we have no time to waste. Additive manufacturing needs to focus on improving on the fundamental KPIs that not only underlie a broader adoption, but will make additive manufacturing more competitive, reduce costs, increase speed, and improve quality. Now, it's true that the additive manufacturing industry has grown substantially, and well, the past pandemic year and a half put aside, it looks like it will continue to grow, with ever more applications and increasing numbers being printed. Industrialization is an often used word in the current context, and to date we still have not been able to give this term true substance in our industry. To date, our industry has evolved on the basis of workstation optimization. Let me explain. Improving the output of printers, creating new materials, adding post-processing treatments for further increase of the quality of the output to meet end-user demands and expectations. Now this has grown step by step, incrementally. We have not been building towards full end-to-end digital AM factories. And given additive manufacturing facilities are looking to scale, it's time to address this. With on the one hand design now fully digital, with manufacturing fully digitally driven with nesting software and printers themselves, post-processing of printed parts. On the other hand, post-processing workflow is still an analog process with costly manual labour. Now the current status is that service providers such as Shapeways, Midwest Prototyping, Sculpteo, Materialise, Fast Radius, Protolabs, just to mention a couple, they're all facing 1,000+ prints to be processed per day. In addition, OEM environments, such as the automotive market, are also already printing similar volumes and dealing with the same challenges. And with market growth as it is, and Smile Direct as an example, Smile Direct Club aiming to print 20 million clear dental aligners a year, and new levels of productivity per printer introduced, amongst others EOS Pro Level Fusion. Handling all these prints is a serious challenge. We believe that taking additive manufacturing to the next level, i.e. scaling the application of additive manufacturing, the additive manufacturing workflow needs to be fully automated. And this will be the evolutionary step of additive manufacturing as a single, standalone workstation towards a fully digitized production line and potentially lights out AM factories. Aimflow is a supplier of this automation. We provide the connecting dots between the individual workstations, creating cost efficiency and lead time reduction. And we aim to create an optimized and automated additive manufacturing production workflow. We are Aimflow. So let me ask you, how do you manage to keep track of more than hundreds of parts with endless possible geometries as a consequence of freedom of design? And through all post-production steps required for each individual part without a clear identifier of each part? The answer? Have a look at this video.
Familiar to you? As a successful 3D printing company, you are facing rapid growth in volume as well as in differentiation. Handling high mix and high volume goes smoothly in the first stages. The designs of your customers flow as vast amounts of bits and bytes through your pre-production department into your industrial printers. But after 3D printing, the digital flow comes to an abrupt end and switches back to the analog age. Especially all the manual sorting doesn't scale at all. Labor costs increase exponentially, space becomes a big problem, working conditions get poor, and people start making mistakes. The AM Vision is your automated sorter solving these problems.
Hi and welcome here in our showroom in Eindhoven at the Brainport Industries Campus. Let me just show you our lineup. First of all, we have here the AM pick, which is picking up individual parts out of a bin and place them on the conveyor belt. This is our AM Logic operating console on which you can identify the parts and the data is collected and brought back to the ERP. This here is where the magic takes place, the AM Vision, where parts are identified on geometry only. And finally, once these parts have been identified, you can now sort them into different bins and then route each individual part to the appropriate post-processing step. Now, let me just talk you through each of these individual solutions one by one. So the first challenge we face is automated picking of 3D printed parts. Our AM Pick is a robotic solution able to pick parts of different size and shapes out of a bin and place them in a machine or on a conveyor belt, going from a batch process to one-piece flow. The kernel of Aimflow is the AM Vision, with high mix and high volume output, working ideally to one-piece flow, identifying unique parts manually has become a time-consuming and labour-intensive task. So once cleaned, bins with 3D printed parts, all different shapes, each with individual post-processing steps, like polishing and dyeing, and they all must be sorted and go to different departments or collected for different customers. You can now automate this with the AimVision. The AimVision identifies parts based on their geometry only. This geometry is a unique fingerprint, and we can recognize parts in under a second, in 0.2 seconds. And with this identification information, we're able to route these parts to the next step of the process for this printed part. The AM Logic is our software solution. It provides a seamless integrated software connection between our modules and the existing IT architecture of the customer. The AM Logic software suite contains APIs for both traditional and 3D printing, CAD/CAM, ERP, MES and PLM systems. Static or mobile operator consoles are provided so that everywhere in your factory you have the digital backbone of your factory at your fingertips. Connecting the dots in end-to-end digital manufacturing. That's what this is about. In combination with the AimVision, AM Sort forms a complete 3D printing sorting station. The design is modular, easily expandable and pre-wired. Items are shifted to either side of the sorter conveyor, and depending on the amount of finishing steps you have in your factory, you define the amount of sorting docks you require. Selection of the bin is easy via the console. Each end of the AM Sort can be adjusted to attach other modules, like automated guided vehicles or bin selectors, or our bagging and labeling solution. From a customer satisfaction perspective, this is what it's all about. The part ready for shipment to your internal or external end customer. The AM bagging is a bag and label unit that can efficiently print high-resolution text, graphics and barcodes directly onto bags and present them ready for shipping. Pairing the AM bagging with the system-matched AM Sort ensures quick and efficient handling of 3D printed parts. Operating at speeds of up to 25 bags per minute, the system offers you an innovative engineering with a next bag out printing feature to ensure greater accuracy and eliminates product queuing in order fulfillment. Finally, AM Route. AM Route transports your customer final product to the DC, or before that, to the next production batch process step. Fully autonomous, intelligent vehicles increasing throughput and reducing transportation costs and machine idle time, while allowing employees to focus on tasks that require complex human skills. Part traceability at the highest standards, and thus eliminating errors. Let me take you through some final thoughts on how we believe we can overcome the challenges companies are facing in scaling their AM production. So we believe the pain in the market is an absence of post-processing workflow automation. But to be able to automate the post-processing workflow, post-processing automation needs to overcome a technical issue. And that is, how do you identify parts given the infinity of geometries that can be produced in additive manufacturing? Aimflow has solved this challenge of identification of 3D printed parts by geometry only. And the benefits are substantial on 3 levels. Economics, the scalability of the business, the increased revenues potentially, cost price reduction, and maximum capitalization of assets. From a digital process perspective, increased workflow efficiency, tracking and tracing leading to certifiable production process, automatic data entry, automatic counting, Industry 4.0 digital thread. And from a customer satisfaction perspective, lead time minimalization, minimizing delivery mistakes, same-day delivery, audited processes, custom bagging and labeling. Interested in our approach and our solution? Let's talk.